Welcome to Topwise. Today we explore the dynamic world of goal setting and personal development. We delve into the power of setting both long-term and short-term goals in light of the knowledge of renowned philosopher and motivational speaker Jim Rohn. By separating our goals into distinct categories, we gain clarity and direction in our journey toward success and fulfillment. We believe in the importance of envisioning our aspirations across different time horizons. Long-term goals encompass our objectives for the next 3 to 5 years, 10 to 20 years, 30 to 40 years, or even the rest of our lives. These goals provide a framework for our life's trajectory, allowing us to dream big and think beyond immediate circumstances. By continuously nurturing our long-term goals, we cultivate a sense of purpose and live with intentionality. Simultaneously, we recognize the significance of short-term goals in propelling us forward. Short-term goals act as stepping stones along our path to long-term success. They focus on immediate actions and outcomes, helping us make tangible progress and maintain momentum. By breaking down our long-term aspirations into manageable milestones, we bridge the gap between where we are now and where we want to be. Through engaging and informative videos, we explore strategies, principles, and practical steps to set and achieve both long-term and short-term goals. Drawing inspiration from Jim Rohn's teachings and those of other thought leaders, we provide insights on effective goal setting, personal growth, motivation, and self-improvement. Our aim is to empower you with the knowledge, tools, and inspiration to unlock your full potential and live a life that aligns with your dreams and values. When President Ronald Reagan addressed a joint session of Congress, he said that the Republic is a dream and that if we stopped dreaming, we would lose the Republic. He warned that if we stop dreaming, we will lose the Republic. A more successful future for you and your loved ones is a goal that you should strive towards. Where do you plan on going next? What are your plans for the day? What kind of person do you want to be? What exactly are you hoping to observe? You have to have ambitious goals. One of the statements that may be found in the Bible is titled, "Without dreams and visions, people will perish." You need a goal to work toward, something that will get your heart pumping and your soul soaring at the same time. Imaginings conjured up by Sanchez's offspring. According to what it says, you should take the crumbs away from hungry soldiers and they won't die. But if you take the food away from hungry children, they will cry. But without dreams, none of us would survive. Hence, dreaming is an absolute need. Do not give up on the goals you have set for yourself, the future of your family, and your future as an entrepreneur and traveler. During the time that you are away, you shouldn't give up on the hopes that you have of finding true love, launching a successful company, seeing the globe, and coming up with an idea that is really unique. Don't give in to the urge to daydream. These are your long-term goals, and you have no choice but to achieve them. Let's move on to the next stage of the goal-setting process now that we've discussed the fundamentals of the first stage. Goals for the not-too-distant future. Goals for the not-too-distant future. These experiences are referred to as confidence boosters due to the fact that if you plan something short-term, go for it, obtain it, grab onto it, put in a lot of effort, and succeed in achieving it, you will begin to develop the strong sentiments necessary to go for your ambitions. Now, I've broken down my objectives into 3 distinct groups, and here they are. The first priority is economic, and these are the objectives you have set for your financial situation. That covers your objectives for the near future, including those for tomorrow, this week, this month, and this year, as well as those for the immediate future. These are what we refer to as confidence boosters. Revenue that is produced from the revenues of enterprises' production economics. Be certain that you have a sound plan worked out for the economy before moving forward. Because the economy touches the lives of everyone in some meaningful manner, economics necessitates meticulous and exhaustive preparation for the future, including tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, and even further in the future. What would happen if you asked someone tomorrow if you could examine their perfectly constructed and prepared list of economic goals? What kind of response would you get? How likely is it that someone will comment something along the lines of, "You must be some kind of weirdo? Finally figured out what it means to be successful. Doing things that unsuccessful people won't do is the key to success." If you take the time to make sure that your economics are properly laid out, it will place you in the top 5% of the class. That is one of the 7 essentials for riches and pleasure, which is one of the themes that we frequently discuss on the weekend and one of the primary topics that we discuss. Another one of the topics that we cover is the 7 essentials for health and happiness, an economy that has been meticulously planned out. It is imperative that you establish yourself in the top 5% of your industry if you are serious about achieving success. Everyone in this room has the capability, if you will, of climbing into the top 5% of the population. Now that we've covered the first category of aspirations, goals, let's move on to the second group, objects. Make a list of everything you desire, no matter how little it may seem, and put it all on the list. In the past, I would just consider major assets like automobiles and homes in my calculations, but now I take everything else into account as well. The reason for this is that one of the most enjoyable aspects of making a list is checking things off when they are completed or obtained. If you can go get it, whatever it is. Celebrate your accomplishment by throwing a great celebration, and don't forget to keep in mind that we all grow and improve as a result of the experiences we go through. If you've been working on something for a long time, you deserve it. In spite of the fact that one of them is often known as the anguish of failure and the other as the ecstasy of success, we need both of them in our lives. Accentuate them as much as possible, which also implies making the experience of losing more unpleasant. Put the blame on yourself if you tried to figure anything out, but in the end, we're still unsuccessful. On the other hand, if you were successful, you should be pleased with yourself. It is a sign of maturity to congratulate oneself on one's accomplishments, but it is a sign of immaturity to seek the plaudits of others. But hey, winning and losing is what it's all about. That's what it comes down to in the end. That's the name of the game. Now that we've covered the first 2 groups of goals, let's move on to the third, personal development. Create a roadmap for your own professional and personal development based on the goals you've identified. You'll need to focus on being more aggressive and determined if you want to accomplish your goal. Make a living as a public speaker. Take the reins of leadership. Develop a wide range of skills, one of which should be a language. Because you were expecting to improve all of your skills by the conclusion of the seminar that took place over the weekend, the event's organizers made sure to design it in such a way that would allow you to accomplish just that. Skills in personal development are what attract and bring good things into your life. The person you become as you get more skilled is now quite a package for working on economics-related concerns. Personal development skills are what attract and bring positive things into your life. Personal growth in consideration of the following time periods: the day after tomorrow, the week after, the month after, the year after, and the long range. That ought to get you going in the right direction. Now here is the straightforward method for establishing objectives. The situation is as follows. The first step is to go to work on your goals, which is why I put work at the beginning of the sentence. Work on them. And remember that I specifically inserted the word work there in the previous sentence. I won't attempt to trick you into believing that it isn't a lot of effort to set objectives for oneself on purpose, and neither of us are here tonight to play games with one another. It is work, and I am aware that it has been successful. Nevertheless, due to the fact that it is an effort, many people choose to disregard it. It's work, and most people put a lot of effort into their jobs, but they don't put the same sort of effort into their futures. Instead, they just let things go. Although it's work, most people put a lot of effort into their careers. Creating plans is a part of the job, which I am aware the majority of people don't do, but you shouldn't allow that to stop you from doing it. The individual responds, "Well, yeah, you work where I work." The problem is that by the time you finally make it home, it's too late. You have to have something to eat, then go shopping or watch a little television before heading to bed. After that, you have to go to bed. You can't spend the better part of the night sitting around planning things over and over again, and the men have to be decent workers who are willing to put in the effort. On the other hand, you will need to be superior to people who are truthful, competent workers, and good planners. You will need to be an effective planner. Someone once said something profound. People who fail to plan are planning to fail. This is a really insightful statement. Well said, thus your attention should be directed toward achieving your goals. Here is the second step. Because you are one of the most important people you need to learn about, you should write down your objectives in your journal. Because I feel it is so crucial, one of the most important things I teach my workers all over the world is to write down their goals. This is one of the most important things I teach them. The following is the list of objectives that I developed around a month ago. Here is the list of goals that I established 2 years ago. Here are some of the changes that I've made to the order of my priorities. Here are some of the goals that I've already accomplished. Here are others that I've added to the list. And here are some of the goals that I've already checked off the list. Consider the things you've accomplished and think about the things you want to do. Put them down in writing and put them on some paper. Another benefit of writing down your goals is that it shows that you are serious about getting better, which is necessary if you want to improve. Writing down your goals reveals that you are serious about doing better, which demonstrates that you are serious. You don't have to have a pessimistic outlook on the situation, but you do need to take it seriously. Everyone believes that in the not-too-distant future, conditions will have significantly improved. Everyone hopes, even those who are poor, which should tell you something. It should teach you that the future does not become better by hoping for a better future. Rather, it gets better by preparing for a better future. In the past, I was afflicted with a disease that is medically referred to as passive hope. It is an ailment, and it is not a healthy one. It's possible that cheerful hope is even worse than that, which is saying something given how terrible joyful hope already is. Even though he is 50 years old and broke, the guy nevertheless manages to keep a cheerful expression on his face. That is not a good indication. Therefore, you have to become serious about the goals you have set for yourself. Put them in writing on a piece of paper and make a note of them. There are a myriad of various goals to pursue. Her goals, a statement of their goals, goals for commercial enterprises. The ultimate goal of one's financial goals should be to become financially independent. Goals in regard to the household. I mean, there are so many things to work on with this that if you don't get busy and work on it, sure enough the time will pass. And sure enough, 5 years from now, you'll wind up somewhere you don't want to be, wearing something you don't want to wear, driving something you don't want to drive, and being something you don't want to be. If you don't get busy and work on it, the time will pass, and sure enough, the time will pass. Now is the time to make the necessary changes. I'm trying to say that there are a lot of different aspects of this that need to be improved. Now we will go on to the third step in the process of accomplishing your goals. Examine the scope of your objectives as well as the different sorts of goals you have. It makes a difference both how big they are and what sort they are, and here's one of the most important words of the evening. Regardless of what they are, your objectives are having an effect on you. The handshake you give is influenced by your ambitions. Your aspirations have an effect on your demeanor and character. Your objectives have an effect on how you shake hands. Your aspirations have an effect on your demeanor and character. Examine the scope of your objectives, as well as the different sorts of goals you have. The size of them and the kind they are both have an influence. Our goals have a continual and pervasive impact on our actions throughout the day, affecting everything from the way we move and talk to what we wear and how we accessorize ourselves. Some people have objectives, but they are such terrible goals that their conduct is being impacted by the goals they have set for themselves. The effect is negative for the situation. When I once asked someone what their goals were for the next month, he responded by saying, "Look, if I could just scrape up enough money to pay these horrible bills, that would be my goal." I'm not trying to argue that this isn't a goal. It is a goal, Yet it is such a bad goal that I can't even argue that it is a goal. The effect is negative for the situation. On a Monday morning, when you roll out of bed, you don't think, "Oh boy, another chance to go out and scrape up the money to go pay my lousy bills." You don't spring out of bed and blurt out anything like that simply because you don't do that kind of thing very often. You make comments such as, "Oh, not another Monday," while some individuals have gotten so disheartened with life that they have joined the Thank God It's Friday Club. It's horrible to think that those people will be the ones about whom we say words like, "Thank God it's over," after their lives are done, and they've passed on.